Hello everyone, it is Hungary and I'm here with Romano, and today we will be reading a fan fiction called Oh Maple. And so we're going in this blind, so we don't know what is going to be happening, so I'm actually don't know how to feel about this. Okay, so let's get going. Another world meeting, another afternoon where productivity went to die a slow, agonizing death. Canada had given up a while back trying to take notes. There was only so many times she could write down fucking hell, I'm so bored. Why is America talking about robots again? England wants some more tea. Never mind, France and England are fighting again. Greece is sleeping, and everyone is letting him, that lucky inconsiderate bastard. Prussia doing what that weird expression again. He either wants a blowjob or worse. I know from experience. But foreign nation went crazy and did very unpleasant things to other nations, were stationary and caused international incidents that fruit that a fruit basket and an apology letter couldn't fix. Just as Canada was about to use his invisibility to his advantage and sneak out of the shit show, Germany demanded the room's full attention. Everyone shut the hell up, the German bellowed. I swear to God, the next nation who speaks will be licking my boots clean. How could of you? Please be proper and keep your sexual fetishes to yourself. Austria snapped to try to the German over, over his cup of tea. What line? German gaped at his neighbor in undisguised horror. That's not what I do. How could you? You said I could do that later on tonight. Italy bawled, the petite nation looking heartbroken as he burst into tears. Oh my God! Why would you say something like that aloud and in front of me? Too much. My ears, my fucking beautiful ears. Romano screamed, clutching the sides of his head. Chicky, I'm going to kill you later, potato bastard. After I scrub out the inside of my head with the Brillo pad and some bleach. Fuck, what is wrong with you two? Excuse me? England coughed politely. While this is all quite droll, what was an actual point buried somewhere beneath all the verbal rubbish? Why can't you not be staying in the quiet for once? Rosbif France pouted at his oldest enemy. They were just getting to the good part of the Lemoore. England's reply was cut off by a desperate nation, though. Ja, thank you, Germany said quietly. My point was that these meetings are going nowhere. Are there any helpful suggestions on how to fix this? Nothing normal seems to work for us, so let's hear some other ideas. We could shut up, America! The room yelled in unison. It did nothing to deter the peppy blonde, though. Not cool, haters. I was just gonna suggest that we talked it out. America flipped a pair of birds to the room, presenting them slowly to every nation as he did a full turn. Set on that and rotate. How level-headed of you! England arched a huge brow at his formal colony. We are expecting some more nonsense about robots. Are you feeling all right? And not hard getting to your pain. Go to hell, England. America stuck out his tongue at the formal empire before turning his attention back to the room. So what you think? As we pick a nation, a beautiful nation of love, of course, and talk about him. Franz smiled, alluring at no one in particular, while flipping his hair with the spray of petals and rose petals. The Moors nation barely had enough time to take cover as bullets flew over where his head had been. Denied. We are keeping this meeting for your filth, Switzerland reminded everyone present sternly. The borough of his sniper rifle still smoking. Why is there a lot of guns and I'm not? America whined until the rifle was aimed in his direction. I'm dying. I'm dying. Come here. Gotta be here. Oh my god. I'm coming up. Ayo. Shut up! Neutrality, bitch. Switzerland smirked, retaking his seat as America grumbled to himself about how everyone else was a big old meanie to him and heroes should be allowed their guns, although lasers would be better. No, scratch that. Lasers, lightsabers. Lightsabers would be wicked, America assumed himself by making lightsabers sound as he swished his pen around like no one. The other nations stared at him for a moment before moving on when it became apparent that America wasn't going to stop anytime soon. Since there is no real opposition to this, and it is not a bad idea, considering the choice, we will take to one nation at a time per meeting and ask them questions. To make it fair, everyone will put their name into a hat, and I will pick one. Now, who has a hat? Germany took control again, though the German was unable to find a hat. He used an empty McDonald's bag instead, there being plenty in the meeting room due to America. Germany tried not to cringe at the greasiness of it as he plunged his hand in to retrieve a scrap of paper, jotting a name forth. Germany announced the country to questioned by all the others. Canada. Who? The room had answered back to one "fuck yeah" from one certain Prussian nation. Canada was too excited to notice though. He had gotten picked. Out of all the countries, Canada was going to be the focal point of the meeting for once. The Canadian tried to contain his excitement as he walked up to the speaking podium. This was his chance, his time to shine. He was going to make the nations remember him. Canada couldn't wait to hear their questions. The Canadian held on to these cheery feelings for about 2.2 seconds, and then America opened his big fat mouth. Why is your milk in bags? America asked before Canada called on him. Well, that's really the only thing you could think of to ask me. Canada gaped incredulously at his twin. America shrugged, the picture of indifference. It's rude to answer a question with a question. I thought Canadians were supposed to be polite, America pointed out. To Canada's horror, he watched as several other nations nodded in agreement with his neighbors. So that's how the world wanted to play this? Okay, Canada was game. I'm deadly sorry about I'm totally sorry about that. I forget to take my politeness shots in this morning. It's like insulin, but it's made from sunshine and fresh air. All Canadians take it first thing in the morning with a tall glass of milk, which in bad form is easier for us to pour since we are so high on life. Canada answered, sweet with cooling sarcasm. He watched as it flew right over the nation's collective heads. Next question. Yes, England. I have never seen it warmer. Canadian TV. So how did the plants grow? England asked, looking perfectly serious. Canada barely refrained himself in time from face palming. Apparently, America wasn't the only nation with misconceptions. What an interesting question. Not many people know this, but a large part of our nation budget goes to the importation of all our plant life. We ship it and fully grown distribute the floor evenly across Canada and then sit around and watch it die. It's one of our lesser known hobbies, Canada explained, ignoring pressure as the albino smothered a laugh. Will I be able to see polar bears in the street? America asked blatantly, ignoring the polar bear in Canada's arms. Yes, I'm glad, so glad that you asked that. Canada put a fake smile, fake grin as he ground his back teeth. The answer to that is yes. The polar bears are a vital part of Canadian society. They direct traffic in our larger cities. In the more wall sit areas, children ride them to school. It's environmentally friendly and it keeps the bear's unemployment percentage low. As we like to say in Canada, a productive bear is a happy bear. Fuck you, Commissioner snapped. Shut up, Canada whispered as the out of the side of his mouth. I want to walk from Vancouver to Toronto. Yeah, that's Sweden. Can I follow the railroad tracks? Sweden asked, making every nation turn to stare at the quiet nation as they tried to mentally translate what he had just mouth vomited. Why would you there's a train? Makes no sense. Canada struggled mentally for a moment before giving up. Sure, why not? Whatever floats your boat, it's only a boot 4,000 miles. Wear comfortable shoes, bring lots of water, and for the love of Mapel, don't forget your beaver repellent. Is it safe to run around in the bushes in Canada? Sweden asked again. Much to everyone's surprise, Finland turned a very interesting shade of pink at the question, which only worsened that France started to chuckle. Sweden looked dead serious, but then he always did. That is what the beaver repellent is for, Canada said carefully. It's available only where protein is sold through, so stock up where and when and where you find it. The next question made Canada want to smack the nation, asking, are there any ATMs in Canada? If there are, would you be so kind to send me a list of them in Toronto, Vancouver, Edmonton, and Halifax, England? Canada felt a little sad to notice that his former keeper was actually taking notes. We do. They are conveniently located at all of our trading posts. You will, however, need to speak French, though, to be understood and have a firm grasp of our intricate bartering system, since we do not believe in paper money in trade for goods and services with animal pelts only, although do we accept discovery. Canada had to kick pressure in the shin, the pale nation beginning to lose it. Can you give me some information about the hippo racing in Canada? America asked, popping his gum. Canada didn't know what to glare at his twin or throw something sharp and heavy at him. Hippos? Really? Because when you think Canada, you think hippos? Canada tried to find the reasoning behind the madness. Well, yeah, so when are they? Canada America was not seeing the flaw in his question as per usual. The hippo racing is every other Tuesday night in Calgary and Thursday night in Quebec. There is a very strict dress code though, so I would advise you to keep on the safe side and come naked. Canada deadpanned. Do you have perfume in Canada? Germany asked briskly. Canada took a moment to stare at the German. No, we don't. Every Canadians bathe, so we don't really need to use it. Canada said after a moment. If you fly in with perfume, you'll be stopped at the airport, scrubbed down, and given a very thorough cavity search. We do this to deter perfume smuggling rings. Understood. Germany grunted, Joe jotting that bit of info down. Pressure decided at that point to crawl underneath the table so that he could laugh without Canada bruising his shins every 2 seconds. Can you tell me the regions in British Columbia where the female population is smaller than the male population? Italy asked while Germany was busy writing. Excellent question, gay bars.
Like you.
No. Canada snapped, his patience growing thin. With all the other nations, were there really this many dumb questions and misconceptions about him? Which direction is north in Canada? Was asked by America. Canada gave into the urge to throw something at his brother. Kumajiro suddenly found himself was smacking smacking headfirst into the American's hard skull. Any other questions? Canada ventured, taking a moment to straighten out his straighten out his tie to the sounds of bear mauling. Can I bring cutlery into Canada, England asked, making Canada's shoulders slump once again in defeat. Only if you want to offend the natives. Canadians prefer to eat only with their fingers. Cutlery is seen as evil metallic servants of the devil. I would I will I would urge you to never eat with any form of cutlery while in Canada, or else suffer from the dire consequences of your careless actions. Canada shook his head in mock sadness. Can you send me to the Vienna Brewery's choir schedule? Americus called out. Having finally made peace with Kumajo, Austria was outraged enough by the question to go seek out his piano in the corner of the meeting room. Canada answered the question with Chopin as background music, the tall blonde not missing a beat as he leaned up against the podium. Funny thing about that, the Vienna Boys Choir performs every other Tuesday night in Calgary, straight after the Hippos races. Not before and never in Quebec. Don't worry, it's a common misconception. There is a very strict dress code, so come naked. I had developed a new product that is the fountain of youth. Where can I sell it in Canada? America stole another turn by kicking Sealand. By kicking Sealand out of his way, the micronation somehow managing to sneak in again. Quit trying to unload the stuff you buy from eBay on me, Canada snapped. How's a boot you let another nation ask a question? Oh, hell to the no, America laughed. Do you celebrate Thanksgiving in Canada? Al, quit trying to sell me your crap. Canada rolled his eyes, looking around for any other nation to talk to. He sighed when he saw Germany raise his hand once again. Supermarkets in Toronto. Hold on. Are there any supermarkets in Toronto? Is milk available all year round? Germany asked. What is with all the fascination with my milk? Canada grumbled, clearly clearing his throat to answer. In Toronto, no, not a one. Trading caravans travel around the province, going from town to town. Milk is a rare and precious resource. They're due to this. I have a question about a famous animal in Canada, but I forgot its name. It's a kind of big horse with horns. America yelled out, the nation playing patty cake with Kumajo now. Moose? Yes, we have several different species of moose. Most feared dreaded of them is all the dire moose. Canada was cradling his head in his hand. Is that a dire wolf? Is that like a dire wolf? America's head shot up in interest, the nation losing the game of patty cake to the bear. America, don't interrupt, or I will tell you how to save yourself from turning into the undead after they bite you. Canada went for broke and was rewarded by a frightened look on his twin's face. Moose can do that? America whispered, swallowing hard. Oh, yes. That is why you are never supposed to give a moose a muffin. Canada bit the inside of his cheek to keep from laughing. Okay, the nation's meeting's time is almost over. I have time for one last question. Will I be able to speak English most places I go? America took it home for them. No, we speak only French and some dialect of Swahili. Canada sighed. Meeting adjourned. The nation flopped back in his seat, suddenly exhausted as he watched the other nations file out. One nation remained, though, pressure crawling out from under the table, wiping tears of laughter from his scarlet eyes. You are a terrible influence on me, Canada muttered at the Prussian. I was going to go with awesome, but whatever tickles your pickle. I swear, I should prove I'm so bad, but this is getting to me.
Now do you see why I like the leaders?
No, pressure grins. You know what would be awesome and really tickle my pickle? Canada veered, parting his legs to slap his inner thighs suggestively. You know, while you're down there. Here, I thought Canadians were shy and chaste as the driven snow. Pressure chuckled, moving into position. Another wild misconception put to us. Oh. The Mountie had just wanted to go get a tall, steaming cup of Timmy's. Was that too much ask for? Apparently so, because instead of going on his break, the tired officer of Royal Canadian Mounted Police had to deal with an obviously deranged horse. He felt the really didn't get paid enough in order to deal with this crap. But I'm here for the hippo races. How much more naked do I have to be, fucking Americans? And so that is the end. That is the end of that is the end of O Maple, and to be honest, I really love it. And yes,
The second I heard maple, I knew it was going to be something about Canada.
well, of course.
Duh. What other country has maple?
Actually, every country has maple. It's just imported from Canada. Okay, so that is the story, and I hope y'all like it. Goodbye.
Oh, yeah.